Well, good everybody. I'm ADV Medic, and I'm going down a big old hill here that's really loose. So I'm out here at the Woodruff Narrows, and this is a great place to ride, and it looks like I'm going to get wet looking at these still clouds up here. But this is a beautiful little place, as you can see here, and it's just kind of out of the way and just a little, I think it's a BLM area, but little reservoir and a few little trails you can ride around on, a couple ranches surrounding it, so kind of a neat area. And I think I'm gonna try to get home before this storm hits, but this is about 15 minutes or so north of Evanston, and it's a pretty neat place. I just wanted to check it out, see if it was dried out enough that I can bring my boys up yet. Looks like it is, so I'll bring the kids out here the next couple weeks and let them all ride out here. So let them come out and have some fun on this weekend. So I just wanted to review a couple things and just kind of share with you some information. So the first thing is this windshield. You may have noticed from my old videos, this thing stuck up about this high, and I thought I really wanted it to be up that tall, and that I actually made this myself from a $10 piece of plastic that I bought at the hardware store here in town. And you know, it's called the Lumber Yard here in Evanston, and if you're ever around, that's a good place to shop. A good friend of mine owns that, and they always take good care of me in there. But that little cheap $10 piece of plastic, I just basically cut it to shape as best as I could guess, and then sanded the edges with just used a an 80 grit sandpaper to start with, and then I went to a finer grit. I think it was 180 or maybe a 320 on my Milwaukee oscillating tool. What's that vibrating tool? Little cordless thing that I've got, and that worked really good. It smoothed out the edges really nice, and it seemed pretty good. Now, when I first did that, like I say, it was pretty tall, and if you've seen my Moab videos, you saw how tall it was, because you were looking at that darn screen quite a bit in my videos, so I apologize for that. But that's one thing I didn't like, is I didn't want to be looking through the screen, and I didn't want you to be looking through the screen either, at least not that much. So I've cut it down and cut for about 4 or 5 inches off the top here, and then I also cut the bottom off a little bit. It was hanging over the headlight just a little bit, and that would cause a little bit of a glare when I was riding at night. So I did about 200 miles at night when I came back from Moab, just because we were having so much fun down there. We didn't leave until about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and so didn't get home till about midnight. But that glare was not really a big deal, but it was a little distracting. So, you know, it's always good to eliminate distractions. So I went ahead and cut that up, and so now I don't get that big glare at all at night. And however, if you can see down there, there's a few little cracks that have developed down there in that down there in the bottom of the windshield, and I actually cracked it up here, and I did that probably from because you cut this with a what I should have used with a Dremel tool, like a rotary Dremel tool with a cut-off blade, but I wound up using a 4-inch grinder with a 4-inch grinder blade, and the speed of that and the lack of ability to really hold it level on a piece of, you know, I had to hand hold the windshield, caused a lot of vibration. I think that vibration caused me to put too much stress on that plastic and end up breaking it and putting cracks in it. It's not terrible, but it's kind of ugly, and so what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to make another one of these. I'll make another one here. This one probably won't last much longer. You know, a few more crashes and it'll be done for. But you know, I crash plenty. You can always count on that. So you know, a couple more times off the bike or something, it'll break and I'll need to replace it. So not that big a deal. And like I say, it's only $10 and about an hour of labor. And next time I do that, I'll do a video and show you guys how I do that. But what it does is, even at this lower level, it just brings the wind up to just below my helmet, right? You know, and stuff. And so it takes that big chest pounding wind off of you, and it just reduces the fatigue. Tried it freeway speeds with and without it at a fair amount of distance, and I was noticeably more tired when I was riding without it. So it really makes a big difference just to get the air around your body or core. You know, your helmet does a good job of pushing air around your head, but especially my helmet, this Arai XD4 is a fantastic helmet that way. But that really makes a big difference there. The other thing I wanted to talk about was my Footpegs, if you can see those. And the Footpegs are just the cheap $15 ones I got off of Amazon. And you know, I really like them. They seem to work pretty good. I'll probably end up eventually replacing them with some Fastway or IMS Footpegs, but you know, that are a little bit wider. But these are almost twice as wide as the stock pegs width-wise. And they're every bit of twice as wide front to back, so they're really quite good that way. And they were cheap, $15. They got pretty good grip on them. I haven't slipped off them or anything like that. I have noticed with the wider width, that takes a little bit of used to when you know, when you're maneuvering the bike and stuff. It certainly is different. So it'll take a little getting used to, but they work pretty well, and I really enjoy them. So if you want a budget-friendly option, those are a good way to go. And I'll put a link here in the description for those. And that, however, like I say, I'll probably upgrade to the Fastway pegs. I think they're just a little bit nicer, a little bit bigger, even still. And of course, I always like to trim weight wherever I can. But that being said, I'm not all that concerned about it. You know, the bike's going to be heavy no matter what. So, you know, unless I, you know, pulled the handlebars off of this and put a KTM underneath it or a Beta, it's going to be a heavy bike because there's no to it. So, it is what it is. But both of those have been fantastic, and so far, and we'll see how they continue to work. But so this is the Woodruff Narrows. I'm ADV Medic. This is my windshield, and those are my pegs. And I hope you guys have a great day. And we'll see you on the trails.